little relevance to her culture and upbringing, which is British, and is articulated within the pages of this book. Even though the author attempted to rekindle her affiliation to Jamaica through another visit, she was unable to shake the true character and culture that is so inherent in her British culture and upbringing. As quoted, it mattered to me. It mattered in the sense that I wanted to know where my place was in the Jamaican mindset. To quote, "Being born in England of Jamaican parents, I should have had the best of both worlds, but I used to get confused about my identity because my mother would belittle the Jamaican side of it. She believed everything British had to be better, so she would chastise me when I tried to emulate her dialect, as if she was ashamed of it. But there was something about the Jamaican language that enthused me. It is indeed sad that West Indians who left their islands to seek milk and honey in Great Britain found it necessary to negate their own culture, but in doing so, it still did not make them more acceptable. To teach your children about their culture, their heritage, their history, is to enrich them with an education for life. It enhances their self-worth and identity, as the author will discover for herself. Reading this book made me appreciate my own cultural heritage. I can recall as a child my mother saying that her grandmother would twist her tongue to speak English rather than teach her children Spanish. She felt that they would have far more opportunities if they embraced the English language and adapted the colonial ways. Little did she know what a sheer asset it is to be able to speak another language, and what a privilege to travel to the lands of your grandparents and find commonality among those you visit and meet. Similarly, in her book, the author describes her journey to find her identity and commonality with Jamaica, the land of her parents. The second time around, why was Jamaica revisited by the author? What did she not discover in her first visit that was calling her for a second time, that would help her to rest what she thought to be her space and identity? Was it a creative journey, a spiritual journey, or an opportunity to change earlier assumptions and perspectives? The second trip brought out a lot more about the author's own personality and cannot be associated with any particular culture. The need to find her own space, for example. I enjoyed the author's descriptive and creative language when she was in tune with her own beauty and the beauty she saw around her. I enjoyed her open and honest display of her own feelings, even those that were subconscious. To quote, "He told me he would take me to a special place where no tourists were allowed to go, but I must be there by 5 in the morning. It was my secret. I should have been scared to walk early hours of the morning with a complete stranger, but I wasn't. That is why I couldn't understand the category of a tourist. A tourist would never have felt comfortable walking with a stranger through wide empty fields in Jamaica. On the contrary, many do. He was my Jamaican brother, to quote again. It was at this point I felt at one with my fellow Jamaicans." The author had by now conceded that there are great advantages to having a dual heritage. However, I still believe there are many visits to Jamaica in the future that will bring even further awakenings in the author and a deeper understanding of where her place is in Britain and Jamaica. I look forward with much anticipation for more wonderful pages of adventures from this author. It is indeed a pleasure to know Myrna Lowe. Wemisi, I thank you.
Give thanks to God, of course, for without whom I wouldn't be here. Give thanks to the Arts Council England East, Momentum Arts and all its subsidiaries, families and friends, Geary, the first publisher of my book, the first purchaser of my book. But I'd like to make some particular thanks, and that is to Patricia Lashley, who just spoke, did a review on my book. It's the first time I've heard it, so it was interesting. Melanie Abrahams for mentoring me. Del White for opening the launch. Becky and Kay for assisting with the masks that were too tight so nobody could wear them. Glenn Yearwood, You'll know about him later, my special guest. Lord Ousley, Trevor Phillips, Diane Abbott and the National Library of Jamaica for supporting the book with their kind letters. Patsy Isles and Robert Nugent for their professional advice. Vicky Rickman and the technicians and all of those at the Heart Factory. Ottakers in Luton for relieving me of having to sell the books this evening. Sight Concern in Luton for organising cassettes and CDs. They're not all ready yet, but when you hear them, they're better than the book, I think. Simon Lambert for his journalistic expertise in the Herald and Post. Fiona Marriott, you all have to come, those who read the book. There'll be a question and answer session at Luton Library on the 21st of August at 7:30 p.m. and there'll be an exhibition. Lenny Ranks, Carlton Boulin for promoting my work and my book in London. Jamaicans.com for their interactive discussions with America, Canada and the USA of my book. And The New Nation for their consistent promotion of it. Dumplings in Luton for handing out flyers. Paul Paul Swimsite for he's going to videotape this event. And I just want to thank everybody, and we're going to have a short break and you're going to be able to buy the book, and after that you're going to be entertained by our fantastic musician. Okay.
So those who would like to get books signed, can you just hold until the second half, okay? For the next 2 minutes we're going to start. Thank you.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. Can I have your attention please? Can the technician please turn down the music moment, please? Okay, before I introduce my special guest, I'm just going to tell you a summary of the book. I'm not going to read the book this evening, but it's a poem, and it was inspired by the book. My space, my identity, creating space for my identity. But what is my identity within this space? My parents are Jamaican. They migrated to Great Britain and adopted a culture which was not their own. And then I was born in Britain. I had a British education, but then I married a Jamaican and merged two cultures into one. I learned the Jamaican custom. I cook rice and peas and chicken. A British-born Jamaican, that is what I am. But in Jamaica, they call me foreign and an immigrant in Britain. So pray tell me something. Where do I belong? I've been acknowledging an ancestry which really doesn't belong to me, because Britain is where I was born, and therefore is my home. Who's travelled miles and miles and miles and miles to be here tonight, and he's going to entertain you for the next few minutes.
How many songs like that?
3 maximum.
Bless you. Can we just turn down the actual music? Is it coming out of that film? We'll just wait a while until we switch the music off, because I can't hear myself. I'm going to do 2 songs this evening. I just want to mark the occasion. There's very few times I'll make the journey down to Luton these days, but known as a very special person, I just want to give thanks and blessings to all the success that's well overdue to you on this road you're on, you know. And if I can continue to support you, you know I will. I want to do 2 songs. The first song is a very old song of mine. It's called Sometimes.
find the time, sometimes when I by myself I cry. You should have seen that mess you left behind. I keep telling myself, telling myself, telling myself, telling myself, I don't want to know who you with. I don't want to know where you've been, yeah. And sometimes when I smell the perfume that you wear, all the memories, all the memories, all the memories, all the memories come back to me. I don't want to see you anymore. I got nothing to say. I don't want to see you. I don't want to get drawn. I don't want to get drawn. I don't want to get drawn into some small conversation we never see.